turn the light on. Hi guys, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old subscribers, welcome new. If you like my videos, please press the like button and please do subscribe. Alexa, what's the time please?
The time is 9:12 a.m.
So about 10 past 9 we have the hairy bus going down Corey's Road. What is a hairy bus? Woof woof, beep beep, the hairy bus is going down Corey's Road past my block of flats. My mother Jennifer lives at Durrell Gardens, Chatham. I live in Corey's Road, Rochester. So we've got the hairy bus, which is a pet, I think it's some kind of pet service for animals. So I'm supposed to be hairy animal, so what? Some kind of pet dog that people can abuse? Is that right? Really? A hairy bus? So in the world of make-believe, everything's made up. So the hairy bus is going down the road. Now that's a real incentive for me to go shopping, isn't it? Woof woof hairy. I really feel like doing some shopping today. Obviously I'm not going to. So let's go back to being around my mum's yesterday, and it was on the advice of my son. I was sitting in Costa Coffee and I said, before I came to meet you, my mum rang the phone and my son said, why don't you go up and visit your mum after I've gone? So I did. He went off to Weatherspoons to have I don't know what he was doing, that's none of my business. He's an adult of his my son's an adult. So he went off to meet a mate at Weatherspoons, and I was bloody starving by then. I'd had a Costa Coffee and it was now lunchtime when I got back to my flat, and I was absolutely starving. I was hungry. I got a lasagna the day before yesterday, a lasagna. And I had food to eat, but I just hadn't eaten anything because I'd been out walking around with my son, etc. So I sat round my mum's and she said, I won't get you a takeaway today, Genestra, and my name's Crystal. And we all know where that leads when she says Genestra. As soon as she says Genestra, what happens? Because I do when I look out the window. So I sat round there with my mum, and she obviously felt weak herself because she'd had a blood test, and she said she was feeling very unwell, my mum Jennifer. I'd taken some washing round there because she's got a washing machine and I haven't, and I wanted to wash one of my bed covers. And I can't wash that. I can't hand wash like a fleece blanket, can I? In a sink. And in the old-fashioned days, you used to wash them in the bath. Wash your sheets and your blankets in the bath. But I don't feel well myself, and I can't lift a heavy blanket out to the balcony dripping wet. So I took this blanket up to my mum, and she kindly put it in the washing machine. But I didn't know I feel guilty because she didn't feel well herself. Washing machines are out of my price range. I looked one up, nearly £300 just for a single washing machine. How am I supposed to afford that on benefit? A washing machine with the gas and the electric working out at over more than nearly £200 a month. How am I supposed to buy a washing machine? I mean, really? So I'm sat round with my mum, she tells me to put the telly on, some crap comes on, I put the Fire Stick on, and I remember to change it back because last time there was a thing about the Fire Stick being left on, the Amazon Fire Stick being left on the screen. So I just put a couple of things on YouTube, watched that briefly because I didn't plan on staying long. My mum said, I just want you to come up to give you some money so that you've got money Friday, which was nice of her. watched the telly, and I said, Mum, I'm starving. I'm starving. I hadn't had anything to eat all day, just this one coffee from Costa's. And she said, well, go on then. You can have a takeaway, but you'll have less money. If you have a takeaway, you'll have less money. I said, Mum, I'm starving. I'm literally starving. I'm starving, and I'm going to have to give in and have a takeaway. But I did not get a large pizza. I ordered from Pizza Go Go, and I had a chocolate pudding. Chicken bites with curly fries, and a chocolate pudding. And a zero Coke with no calories in it, and a lasagna which I'm going to heat up today. I'm going to heat it up today. I can eat it all, so I haven't stuffed it all in one go. So I've got this Pizza Go Go lasagna. It's a lasagna in there. Sorry, a spaghetti bolognese. I keep getting those mixed up. A spaghetti bolognese. Now, I've done everything I said I wouldn't do because I felt miserable yesterday afternoon. Spent time with my mum, and obviously she fell asleep on the sofa. She was tired out, bless her, worn out. When people are anemic, people take blood tests, and that's more blood out of you, isn't it? And it makes you feel tired and weary. Keep taking blood out of people. So I stayed with my mum. We talked, we chatted, watched the telly. The phone rang twice, and it was Charlotte. And my mum said, Janestra has arrived to Charlotte. Charlotte's mobile, the phone rings round my mum's, and then the automated phone voice repeats the number that's calling. And my mum got up off the sofa, she was dog tired, picks up the phone, and Charlotte doesn't answer. So Mum sits back down on the sofa, Charlotte rings again, Mum gets up. Oh, it's you, Charlotte. Janestra's arrived, and then the phone goes down, and my mum goes back and sits on the sofa. So she told Charlotte, Janestra's arrived. Right, so Charlotte rang. Apparently Sue, her next door neighbour, had a fall in the bath, and she's 74. My mum's next door neighbour fell in the bath and was taken to hospital, so she's not well either. But Sue next door that goes in and checks on my mum, she had a nasty fall. I didn't go out to the Chatham shops, I stayed in the flat. The takeaway driver spoke to my mother, Jennifer, and she paid for the takeaway while I was sat on the chair. And around 5 o'clock, my mum rings for a taxi, and a white male taxi driver appears in a white taxi, and the usual, get in the taxi. He does put my bags in the back of the taxi, but what does he do, everybody? We all know it now, don't we? And I sit there and I take it because my legs are so wobbly and unsteady. I can't get out of the taxi and walk home. So I have to put up with it. Gets out of the corner of the flats, gets my bags, pays for the taxi, there's no bloody lift working. My mum has given me cat food, dog food, I've got the heavy bed blanket, and I'm carrying 4 bags slowly up the stairs, post crap leaflets about Maidstone Road, which I did a video saying that somebody from Lansdowne Court took me, Crystal, up the Maidstone Road to Elmsley House where my mum was a patient. So we've got leaflets advertising Maidstone and Maidstone Road, where Maidstone was where Ben, my mother's mental health worker, lived. Ben, in my mailbox, not Jennifer's, mine. And again, as my mum said, it's me, Crystal, going to a pelvic scan on Friday, not Jennifer. Jennifer's had 2 blood tests, but she's not going to the hospital on Friday. It's me. Hairy bus. Is the hairy bus going to go down the road Friday afternoon when I'm going to the hospital, is it? Because they think it's funny. You know, last time I went for a pelvic scan and Dr. Habib, you know, put his hand up there. It was Dr. Habib that put the speculum up there with his plastic glove on. You know, apparently it's a lady that's going to do the pelvic scan, a female. This time, not Dr. Habib. Dr. Habib did the initial assessment. A female's going to do the pelvic scan, and then if it goes through, some other procedure is going to be done a few days afterwards, the week after. But I have a right to refuse. If I'm being touched inappropriately, I have a right to refuse treatment. And as I said again, you know, they're taking the mickey out of my name, and it is a kind of racism. Genestra, that's what they're taking the mickey out of, not my skin colour, the name, Genestra. They're taking the mickey out of my physical appearance. They're calling me a tranny, a transvestite, a tranny. They're laughing at me. And do I want to go to hospital appointments and going in shops when I'm being made a mockery of? And the answer is no, I don't. I don't agree with this. I don't consent to being abused in shops and in hospitals and on the streets. I've not consented to none of this. And if it is found out they're making money out of laughing at me, I want some of it, please. I want compensation. Do you understand? See you later.